I'm from the Ahousaht First Nation. I've lived in Port Alberni since 1965 after the residential school here. I was involved as a teenager with the Port Alberni Friendship Centre in the 60s. In 1980, I got employed by the Port Alberni Friendship Centre as a program director. I was a program director for 7 years. And then, I can remember the date, 1988, I guess, I became the executive director. Worked as an executive director for 8 years till 1995. But I've always been involved with the Friendship Centre, not only for my employment, but for as a community member, family member. Our family all participates here, works here, or volunteers here. And we've always been involved since the 60s. Our people that moved from Ahousaht, our cultural and traditions are being kept alive because of the Friendship Centre. As Ahousahts, that's where we go to practice our culture and our traditions. We're a big part of the first beginning of the Friendship Centres in '64. There's many people that moved here for employment, education, health reasons, and stayed here from the residential school. So over all the history of the Friendship Centre, our people, Ahousaht people, have been a big part of the Port Alberni Friendship Centre. We supported by volunteering, contributing, and participating in all the events. My children all grew up around the Friendship Centre in the programs, sports, other social activities. Now my son is the board member, the president of the Friendship Centre here. He was 2 years old when he started with the Friendship Centre. Same with his sister and that. And like I say, all my children grew up working, volunteering in the Friendship Centre activities. Big part of our family. It's our home away from home. My wife is a Gitsan. She stayed here from the residential school where we met. We have 5 children, 14 grandchildren, I believe. You know, a lot of our friends from the residential school live in Port Alberni here and come to the Friendship Centre. It's our home away from home. Many people, we have many nations from across Canada that come here. And children, youth that has born in a city, this is the only home they know of, the Friendship Centre. This is where they come to be at home, to learn their culture. All our people who have social problems are not afraid to come here. They're always feel at home here. It's a safe place for them. It's centrally located for easy access for the low-income people without vehicles and that. And it's always served primarily the low-income needy families for services and activities. We don't charge anything for any activities. Do a lot of fundraising, and they end up doing a lot of the volunteering and fundraising for the activities in the community. This building we're in here now, we moved in here in 1988, somewhere around there. We're an old building on 2nd Avenue that was condemned for most of the time we're in there. Because of our explosion in population and urban people, we knew that was going to be too small for us, so we started planning this. It took us 2 years to plan this building. It took us 2 years, and at the time, it seemed like a lot of money, $800,000, you know. But now it's worth millions, and it's priceless though to us because of all the services and all the activities that happen here. More people are coming here. Our community, our members are really respectful of the building, respect of the premises, because it's their home. That's what we tell them, it's their home. You know, we've gone through a lot of challenges in the city, you know, with the racism and prejudices against our people. So we advocate on their behalf for their housing and their other things that might happen in their day-to-day lives in the city here. We are recognized and respected by the City Hall. Many mayors have come here and been our friends. In fact, the first Friendship Centre, the mayor at the time was a big part of creating the first Friendship Centre. So throughout the years, the non-Aboriginal people have been really supportive in Friendship Centre and volunteering and contributing. So we have many good relationships, and our two neighboring First Nations here have always welcomed us here, made us feel at home here, and support our activities, support us in our fundraising. And we share our people. If they're away from home, they're here, and then go back home. They know they've been in good hands when they're in Port Alberni, by the Port Alberni Friendship Centre. So we are really proud of our record and the services we provide for our urban people. And I know there's 25 in BC. I was involved provincially for about 10 years. I was the provincial president for 4 years. I attend a lot of national meetings in AFC across Canada, so I pretty well know the provincial and national purposes of all the friendship centres. I helped in lobbying and advocating for our urban people for services and programs. We've stood up and challenged other non-Aboriginal people for services and programs, showing that we had to prove we could do it. Nobody had confidence in our people that we could do these things, but we showed them. And now we got that good track record of being good, accountable service providers, in locally, nationally, provincially, where we deal with our own issues in our own house and work together on making a better world for our Aboriginal people in the area. We are open to non-Aboriginals too. There are a lot of needy non-Aboriginal people also, who are, with the intermarriages and the relationships and that. We don't turn anyone away. We just ask them to be respectful of our house, our culture, our traditions. We do our best to find out what nation each Aboriginal is from and find somebody that might know their culture that can help them learn. There are many kids who grew up in foster care and come here to find something about their First Nations heritage. So we do our best to try to adapt to various First Nation cultures, and that there's so many diverse First Nations in Canada. And in BC, we have so many different languages. It's pretty hard to teach a non-local person their language. We don't have the resources there. I'm somewhat fluent in my language. I understand my language, even though I went to residential school, but I still understand because there are many elders that lived here, Ahousaht elders, and I still retain my culture and my language. My wife's a Gitsan, she still speaks her language. And so, we do our best to retain our culture, our traditions, and pass it on to our kids. Sometimes it's difficult with the intermarriages, different cultures, First Nation cultures. But our kids are really active. We are always proud to see our grandchildren singing and dancing, knowing their songs and dances. And it's because of the Friendship Centre, having the space and the time for our people to do that. We have many community events here that fills up the whole building. We're looking at expanding the hall. It's too small now for the numbers of people that come to our events. Back when we were planning this, people weren't really fully confident because of the price. And we said, well, it's going to pay for itself sooner or later. And we paid for it within 10, 15 years. It was paid out, and now it's worth millions. We can do it. That's what we do, and we inspire our youth, our people. It can be done. The Friendship Centre movement organization has been my home away from home, where I can practice my heritage, my culture, have our family gatherings, meet with friends in a friendly environment, and pass on my knowledge to other people about Aboriginal culture, Aboriginal beliefs. Although they're diverse, but we still use the Friendship Centre as a place where Aboriginal people can come and reach out and get a touch of their heritage. And the Friendship Centre is that.